face. Grind for your dance. Grind from the streets. Grind for your yard. Grind in the veins. That means man can't starve. Grind to the end. And me not laugh.
So the media were talking. Won't be long till they call off. Me there from morning. You never see me walk off. Everybody did from the wall start warm up. Me dog them there. And anybody figure bark up. Come in and take talk. Make Babylon park up. They weren't here for the struggle or start off. Listen, this music culture. So me rise umbrella upon a vulture. Me no want no pagan come round. I stand up at the front. My seat like a soldier. But don't play beat and bend white body like yoga. Anytime my dogs them walk over. From long time in and these stripes for the shoulder. Bumper one smelly aroma.
Grime in your face. Grind for your dance. Grind from the streets. Grind for your yard. Grime in the veins. That means man can't starve. Grind to the end. And me not laugh. Ayo. 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 Ayo.
Me there for supporters. Them there for the playlist. Some of them selectors have to follow orders. So they're never gonna play this. Killing with the latest. Time I can make room, leak spaces. Step in a face, night boot, tight laces. Send them and have a harpoon on the basis. They were true when grind needed saving. Me and them are not kosher. So we sky high race for the dog place. Been a ram with a skin with promoter. I tell them money up front on me. Now chat, I run up on the stage and reel off. My belly have it full, my weed have it strapped. I represent grime to the max. So I wanna see the gun fingers from the front to the back.
right, gonna go ahead and start off today regarding some of our assignments as we go forward, talking about some journal issues. Sorry I wasn't in the live stream a minute ago. I had to do some things with the dog. All right, I don't have the camera yet set up, but I can go ahead and start running through some of these with you guys. First off, let's talk about journals. One thing that I saw a lot of, especially during this last week, was we had a lot of students that would submit journals, but the journals would not be completed. They wouldn't be done. Nothing would be done on them. And all you guys would do would maybe press the turn-in button and leave it completely empty. Now, that is not going to work. Unfortunately, I've got to have you guys submit journals, and they have to be completed as requested. One thing that I saw a lot of last week especially was I had a few people that just answered no, or yes, or maybe, or even I don't know. And instead of asking for help or getting the information, students just decided that they wanted to not answer the journals in full. So, of course, you will not get credit for those journals. Another thing is I was emailing a lot of you. I also messaged a lot of you. I private commented a lot of you. I put it on the live stream for a lot of you. I gave a lot of you warnings. I put it in the Google Hangout. Make sure, good Lord, make sure that you guys are hitting the turn in button when you do your journals, and make sure also that you are not putting your journals in a class comment. If they go in a class comment, I cannot see them on your assignment. So especially for those of you that have a class of like 20 something, okay? You guys, I cannot see. I'm not going to flip through 20 class comments to make sure everybody's done their journals, guys. You guys have to be able to have the responsibility to put those up and do them correctly. So make sure that you, of course, sorry guys, I'm trying to set this up while I'm talking. Make sure that you, of course, are submitting your journals correctly going forward. Make sure that you put them in. You'll notice some of you just got a straight up 0% on your journals from last week. Some of you did put 1 or 2 sentences. Some of you even completed them, but you did not submit them. So you got no credit for them. That's not cool, okay? So much easier for you guys to just complete those and have them completed for the rest of the period. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and leave, if anybody has any comments or questions regarding any of your assignments, I'm going to have you go ahead and leave those down in the comments. Give me some of those in Google Classroom. Email me, private comment me while I set the rest of this up and make sure that I've got it down. And then, of course, I will get back with you guys at a later time, and we'll go over these assignments. right, folks. We're going to go ahead and get started today talking about some of these assignments going forward. It's good to see you guys today. I say see you guys, but I won't actually see you. It's kind of weird saying that, but good morning. Welcome to another week of Braves ID. Really encouraged with some of the work that I saw last week. Those of you that got your confidentiality agreements in and created those those kind of draft pages of what that could look like in the near future. Those of you that got your websites in, those websites look great. AVP2 folks, make sure that you're continuing quality work like that. Some of you struggling, but we have all week to correct that and all week to make sure that you guys can benefit and do really well on that going forward. Let's go ahead and start with some of the things that we need to get out of the way ourselves today. And then we also need a few other things. Let's bring this back down in here. That way you guys can actually hear me right. A few other things that we need to get done today. A few things that we need to get fixed. A few things that we need to talk about going forward for your assignments, what those look like. So let's go ahead and start with those, and we'll go from there, especially those of you that are meeting today, Monday, March 30th. So first things first, let's go ahead and start with Principles of AV Tech. Not Principles of AV Tech, Printing and Imaging Technology. This is 4th and 5th period. Folks, if, sorry, I had to hit that recording button. Printing and Imaging Technology. This week, Monday, today, is dedicated just to yearbook. You'll be receiving an email from me shortly regarding this, what is it called? This video. That way that you guys can watch it, go back and make sure that you can, that you have the entire yearbook completed. Let's go over the yearbook and then, of course, your assignment for this week. First things first, hey, my sincerest thanks to you folks for staying up till 1, even 2 in the morning the other day, trying to finish this off. Wanted to make sure that you guys have every facet and every ability to finish this in the coming weeks, or in the coming day or so, and then, of course, finish your assignment in the coming weeks. So let's go ahead and talk about the things that are done, the things that aren't done. Things that we need to go back and fix. All right. Let's start with the very top. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the AV media page like here in the next couple of minutes, so don't worry about that. But let's go to the top here. So the Johnson's lady actually walked in here. Her name is Brienne. And she got rid of our signature pages because she said that we needed to have something else in here. She said that we already have signature pages that we've created, and it's part of the deal. So we can't use them as signature pages, even though our other guys said that they could be. She gave me a few ideas on how to complete that. I'm not even sure how we're going to do that. So right now, and she also put another coronavirus page. I'm not okay with that. We've already got 3 of them in there. I'm not going to do another one. So we can make this something else. We'll figure something out. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. This page is kind of like a kind of like a fill it out page. Things that you as an individual that bought the yearbook can go through, and you can go, hey, you can actually write in your yearbook. So like things that you're grateful for, 2 favorite memories from that year, a hard lesson you learned that year, things that you're proud of. And you can go through and you write those in those boxes. All we really need here is a kind of like images that, make this happen. So, for example, if we did like albums, maybe somebody put an album cover here, or something, or an artist or something like that. That way that they can go, oh, cool. So, like maybe the cover of your favorite band or whatever. That's fine. Things I miss most about school during closures. Put an image here. All we need to do is put an image there. This COVID-19 thing, I'm not doing another page like that. So even if we have to leave that page blank, we're leaving it blank. But this, yeah, I need some images. All right. Let's go through this and make sure that we have everything completed, printed, completed. Let me go ahead and go complete our memoir page. Give me a second to pop in there. Let's see. Page ladder, page mover. What was it that we used for the... I think it's page ladder that we used for the completions. Yeah. All right. Let's go back up here to the memoir page. What page was that? 22. Hit the complete button. All right. So that's completed. Moving on. 24, 25. This should be green. Very nice. All right. This one I have to complete today. I just got a load of teacher photos and images that I can put in here. Ones that have these backgrounds already on them and leave them alone. Those that don't, we're going to have to substitute. These that have the blue backgrounds on them are like big no-nos. Those are from 4 years ago. I'm not going to have those in the yearbook. So we'll go through and make those work. These should be completed. All right, good, very nice. Whew. All of the portrait pages should be completed. Very good, very nice. Senior page needs to be completed. All right, good. We did complete that. All right, let me go put a cha-ching. What page is that? 47. All right, senior page is completed. Fine arts page is completed. Did we put a finality on Dazzling Dames? Oh, we have not filled in these the theme bars at the bottom. Let's get those theme bars filled in. In fact, I'll delete a few. That way it's not so compact. Make sure that these are arranged correctly. Send it back. That way we still get the theme. It's just a little bit more interspersed. All right. I'm going to put a completion on that. Pages of that. 62. All right, let's go look at the rest of these. 68. Where did it go? 68, 69. They unsubmitted that for us. Oh, that's so that I can move it. All right, good. Move them. And we wanted to move this before the into the fine arts section, I believe. Oh, we did. Okay, they did it for us. All right, cool. So we can just go back and hit complete. All right, so those are completed. This one will have to wait to be completed, of course. Let's continue down. Those are complete. Those are complete. Those are complete. I'm hoping we can complete computer science. Was there anything that we were out on computer science? Did we do a spell check on this, folks? Ignore all. Change. Ignore all. All right, good. Let's go ahead and complete 78 and 79. All right, 80. So we can't actually delete pages. They said we're not allowed to do that, even though our original guy said that we could. Unfortunate. God dog it. I keep forgetting to do that every time. So what they did is they gave us a little sports trivia in the middle before we go into sports to give us like a little bit of interaction. And so we're going to leave that there. And then, of course, we get into our sports page. All right. Very nice. Well done. Lady Brave softball. Basketball. We didn't do these yet because we haven't gotten rosters for these. So, Marisek, get rosters for these. Email whoever you need to email to get this done. I believe that's Coach Ryan and Coach Swaggart. And if anything, you can also text Turner and Dorman. Dorman will have all of those. For sure, email Dorman. He'll give you a roster pretty quick. All right. Friday Night Lights. We got enough on that. So let's go ahead and complete Friday Night Lights. I'm not worried about that. Basketball we're leaving open. Friday Night Lights. Of course, there's an element unedited. Random text box somewhere that somebody left out on accident. Anybody? Good Lord, children. What's that? Oh, we don't need that. Nope. Let's just lock that. I need that. I need that right. Nope. That right there. Alright. I need unedited portions. Who are you and where are you? Alright, go back through here, find the unedited portions, hit the complete button, folks. I don't know where they are, but we need to find them and get them out of there. Let's save for right now. And move on. All right, tennis. I'm pretty much done with. Let's go ahead and submit that as well. I have no other qualms with it, and I know you guys aren't going to be editing it anytime soon. So any of those other things that I just told you guys to fix, go fix. We need to get that fixed ASAP before we get moving for the rest of the week. All right, let's talk about assignments. PIT assignments. So principles of information technology, imaging and tech. If you'll go in here, you'll see, of course, you need to make sure that you guys are submitting these. Another thing, don't submit these in a class comment, boys and girls. I can't see those associated with your assignment, so I can't see that you actually completed it. I have to actually go find your class comment. So make sure that you submit it in a private comment or a Google Doc, okay? Easiest way for me to see that you did that right. And Google, of course, activates. All right. This is what we're doing this week. A lot of you already saw this with the AVP2 folks the other day. Since we have to integrate those two classes next year, and it's also in your TEKS, the small business thing, we are going to do the same exact thing that they did last week, but you're doing it this week. All right. So if you need help, you can ask any of those AVP2 folks. that's your a lot of the senior folks that are in my classes. So many of you know who those folks are. You've been taking pictures of them. Make sure that you get these in. I would get them in before Friday. That way that when you get to Friday, you're like, oh, I have all these ridiculous questions that I need to ask. That way we can talk about it on Friday because I'm really indisposed Saturday and Sunday. You do have all the way to Sunday, though, to complete it. I do know that it says due Friday. I recommend that you do it by Friday. Very highly recommended, but it is still due Sunday. So if you do get it in on Sunday, not a big deal. This is how we do it this week, PIT. This is how you are doing your assignment. You are basically creating a website for your small business as a graphic designer or production assistant or production company or marketing and advertising firm or whatever you want to call it or however you want to do it and whatever services you would like to offer. So that's how that's kind of how this works. Let's talk a little bit about each day. So day one, I realized that we're also going to be completing the yearbook today. Not a big deal. Let's just put that off one day. You can create 2 pages in a day. In fact, I had somebody create the entire daggum website in an entire day. So it's not that difficult. Many of you already know how to create these websites. If you need help, find me. I can help you out. I'm going to use Internet Explorer real fast to explore the idea of Wix. So here's Wix.com. Most in-depth way to create your website is probably going to be Wix. Just hit the blue button, get started. Use your Google email to get signed in, and then of course just follow the instructions. It literally goes in a step-by-step instruction manual. Once you've got that completed, you can go down here to day one and you can complete your homepage. All the things that you need for that are right there in the instructions. Find day two, complete your about page, day three, so on and so forth. A great example of these websites. Here's a great example of these websites. For this one is called DTX Media. This is a group in Dallas that does a lot of these photography, video production, corporate photography, yada, yada, yada. So here are those. You can scroll down through here and check out how they do basically all the stuff that they do. It's a great template to work off of. Great ideas on this page on how to format. So if you want to use that, it's probably a good idea. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Your 7-piece rubric is down here. It's separated into 5 different parts. So that's each part of the website is 18 points apiece. If you don't finish one of those portions of the website, that's 18 points off. Your turn-in button is 5 points. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Let's go ahead and move on here. If you didn't get if you're not getting the online assignments and you do get a paper copy, the paper copy is a little bit more in length and it also requires you to do a little bit more. So make sure that you get this done if you are getting paper copies as well. All right. So that's PIT. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. PIT, folks. Oops, didn't mean to put a countdown in there. Gotta love it. That's your assignment. If you have any questions, please find me. That's also the yearbook. If you have any questions, please find me. My email, jordan.fitzwater@communityisd.org. Find me on YouTube. Hit me in the private comments. Find me in the private comments of that assignment if you need to. You can also Google Hangout me. I'll be in Google Meets as well throughout the day. Actually, let me go ahead and get that set up because I did not get that set up earlier today. So that's you guys, printing and imaging technology. Make sure that you find me on those, contact me, and that's pretty much your assignment this week. Good luck. All right, continuing on, let's go ahead and pull up. Boop-a-doo. Where did there we go. Gonna go ahead and set up Google Meets here, folks. Give me 2 seconds to get that set up, and then I will continue on with the rest of our assignments. Whoa. Sorry, answering a question real fast, folks. All right. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Let's go ahead and continue on. We're going to start with AVP2 this week. You guys have a little bit different of an assignment this week. Specifically, we're going to be working with small businesses in a little bit more of a larger sense. I'm going to continue you guys on with your websites as well as let me start recording. All right, so AVP2, we're going to continue on with small businesses this week. And let me go ahead and bring you into your Google Classroom real fast. That way that we can all do this together. All right, so your Google Classroom looks a bit like this today, guys. Remember that we are still in the small business section of or the small business unit over the next 2 weeks as well. So this is kind of the beginning of this quarter. We'll be doing small business, then we'll be transitioning a little bit more into production style. Then we'll be doing kind of a little bit more ACA prep stuff as we continue on into the rest of these weeks. All right. So let's go ahead and look at it. I want to give you guys the ability to do really well on this. And your assignment looks a little bit like the graphic design assignment this week, but yours is a little bit more geared toward, my apologies. Yours is a little bit more geared toward the small business aspect of it. You guys need to learn marketing and production techniques because you guys are going to be in a class that is geared towards graphic design and production next year. So we have to get you caught up just as much as we are getting the PIT folks caught up on your end. So this is your catch up with the PIT folks, and the PIT folks are doing a catch up with what you're doing. So you can kind of see how we kind of crisscross those, but each one has their own individual focus in graphic design as well as in production for you. Okay, so these are the 2 submissions this week. It's a little bit easier. I gave you guys a really thick week last week, and man, you guys really did a great job. You really tackled that head on, and most of you got those websites finished, and some of those looked immaculate. I was very, very impressed. Some of them you guys are still trying to put together, so that's okay, but make sure you get those put together because we will be using those here in the future. You will need them completed, even if it's not for the grade. You will need them completed by at least by the end of this week. So if you haven't finished those, get those turned in. Remember, late grades are the same way they were before we ended. The first day after is late. That's a 70. That's today, Monday. Then of course Tuesday it is a 50, and then every day after that 0. If you would like to the retake on that, you have the 3 days for the retake after the day that you turned it in. So if you turn it in on Monday and you get a 20 for it and you'd like to retake it for the 70, you can do that. You have 3 days to do that. So that'll give you Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can turn it in Thursday. If you do it on Tuesday, you can, of course, turn that in on Friday. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on here, folks, regarding your the introduction to marketing and how the 4 P's of marketing works for you. I would watch all 3 of these videos. If you have the ability, please watch all 3 of these videos. These are going to be give you the ability to kind of get some insight on how marketing and production works. Going to give you a little bit of insight on how this week is going to work. Let's talk about submission number 1. Submission number 1 is talking about the talking about confidentiality with our clients. I actually need to change that because you guys aren't going to do the confidentiality part, but you are going to fill out the Google Doc down here regarding the 4 P's. Let me go ahead and edit that real fast. My apologies for that. Let me go ahead and edit that. Complete the Google Doc attached over the 4 P's of marketing. Okay, super simple, guys. Watch the video. Complete the worksheet at the bottom. Video is down here. Introduction to marketing. This one's going to give you guys the ability to see into the styles of marketing. He starts off with a lot of different tools and strategies for you guys to utilize. For example, answering why marketing is not advertising. That's a big one. Okay, so be sure that you watch this video really well. Adam does a really great job of explaining what marketing is and what the 4 P's of marketing are. So make sure that you, of course, get into this, watch this. If you don't have a video and you're getting the paper copies are, you will still have the ability to do this assignment because they will be printing this off for you. 4 P's of marketing has all that same information that Adam just presented to us. This is also a great video to watch. Purely Branded does a really great job of explaining it a little bit shorter in detail. In fact, the lady that does her presentation here gives you a little bit more about kind of the marketing angles, establishing the ROI, which is, well, I won't tell you that because that's part of your assignment. And she also gives you a little bit of some sketch art to kind of show you how marketing itself relies on the consumer. Okay, so go ahead and watch those 2 videos. Super easy to do the worksheet at the end. The worksheet starts off with, of course, just a few questions, and then all you're doing down here at the very bottom, so just answering the questions that are in the video and the assignment. If you have any questions, you're like, man, I really can't find this, please go to Google, consult Google, search it up. ROI is definitely going to be something you can find in Google. But if you can't, watch the video, folks. Each one of those is in there. Do not copy and paste the definition for product, price, promotion, and place from the website in here. If you copy and paste those, you will get a 0. I do not take kindly to plagiarism. You may give me your rendition of these. You are explaining these to me. I know what they are. And I also know how Purely Branded explains them because I made the daggum assignment, folks. Do not, and I know I'm going to have some people do this, do not copy and paste these definitions into your assignment. If you do that, you will get a 0. This is the second warning you get. This is actually the first. Here, that was the second. This is the only warning you get. Okay? Do not copy and paste anything into these sites. We have originality reports on. Those are going to tell us if you guys, of course, skip anything and take shortcuts and plagiarize and copy things from the internet. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. All right. I was going to explain to you guys one more thing on there. Submission 1. Down here in the bottom, matching the marketing objects. So iPhone or Apple Store, 30% off, or internet or social media to its, oopsies, that's wrong. Ha! To its marketing strategy. Okay. So to its marketing strategy. That's going to bother me, man. I don't like that that's down there. They just kind of down there. Let's try that. There we go. That's a little better. All right. Sorry, my OCD was killing me. But down here in the bottom, so iPhone is the marketing object. What is that? Is that a promotion? Is that a place? Is that a product? Is that a price? And you need to put those over there. Okay. Pretty simple. That's all it is. All you're doing is matching those up. If you have any questions, I've left these down here so that you can see how to contact me regarding this assignment. Super easy. Shouldn't be anything too ridiculous. The second page is the thing that's going to give you guys a little bit more trouble, but I think it's going to really give you guys the ability to broaden your horizons in your presentation abilities. Okay. This is not a summative grade. This is a formative grade, but this is a little bit of an easier way for you guys to communicate with me. I can see your smiling faces. You also get to have a conversation with more than just your brothers and sisters and or parents. And that is the rest of the world, of course. So what I'd like you to do is in submission 2, this is going to be the thing that pops up on your service page. Just like on YouTube, where you guys get a little bit of a, like a how-to, or a, hey, this is my page, or welcome to my YouTube page. You guys are going to get to do one of those, except it's going to be based on your services. You're going to explain the 4 P's of marketing to the people that are coming into your business seeking services. So the very beginning of that video, you'll want to explain the 4 Ps of marketing. Then you will have the ability. There's another one of those yawns from this morning. My apologies. But you'll get to explain the 4 Ps of marketing. Then, of course, you'll explain some of your services. And that's all you're really doing for this assignment. It says using a video capture device. You can use any of them. You can sit there with your phone. You can stand up and put it somewhere like on a mantle, maybe even on a couch, or you can put it somewhere where you can be seen. You could even do it where you're sitting and you've got a really nice backdrop. I would do it where you have a really nice backdrop. That way that it looks a little bit more professional. But using that, you're going to record a small presentation. You're going to use the video for your service page. You're going to explain the 4 Ps of marketing. It's right here. And the first couple steps for any new client that is going to be using your services. So what does that mean? Well, we call this client onboarding. So for those of you that don't know what client onboarding is, it's down here in a little video called New Client Onboarding. And he gives you 5 to 7 steps on how you can acquire new clientele and do it well. So if you are interested in that, you can, if you are interested in putting some of that in there, if you have your own idea of how you want to set your, so you might say, here are the 4 Ps of marketing, and here's my service. Here's my services. These are the services that we offer. We'll be more than happy to take any type of production or promotional, there's another one of those yawns. Promotional stuff. We'll also be more than happy to do some graphic design for you. We'll be more than happy to set up a website for you. We've been more than happy to do that. And you can outline your services. You can also tell them about how your clients fare when they come into this kind of sphere of your company. So how are you going to onboard them? Well, you'll receive an email from us first that will welcome you into our community. The second thing you'll get is a questionnaire that decides whether or not you need specific services, for example. And then you might even outline some of those examples, give a little bit of how they should expect to receive you being a new customer, receiving new services. And that's all that really is. So tell us how the 4 Ps are going to work. Tell us what new clients should expect coming to your company and learning all the new things that you have to offer. So that's basically it, folks. And then your worksheet. It's a lighter week this week because I think that you guys had a really, really tough week. You had a really thick week last week trying to complete that website. And so we'll see how this goes. I'm really excited to see how some of you guys make this happen. So if you have any questions, find me, jordan.fitzwater.communityisd.org. Put a private comment down there in the bottom. Private comments are better than class comments because I don't see class comments come through my email. Private comments, they pop up like text messages. So make sure you send them that way. And then also you can get me on the Google Meet, which I'm on right now. Google Hangout, which I'm on right now. And YouTube Live, which I'm on right now. All right. So make sure that you guys find me. And I will see you guys later. Y'all have a phenomenal week. All right. So, ooh, fade to black. All right, there we go. I didn't get to do that correctly there for AVP2. Your video is going to look a little weird. Let's start with the next one we have here, which is graphic design. That meets today. Graphic design, your stuff looks a little bit different from last week. We'll start off, of course, let's go ahead and get into your Google Classroom and talk about how you guys are going to be completing this week's assignment, okay? So let's go ahead and get into classwork. Up here at the top, you'll see marketing and design, the 4 Ps. These are the 4 Ps of marketing. I'm so excited you guys get to start on this. Those of you that have been on the stream, you probably just saw a little bit of this with AVP2. They're going back over this. They didn't get to do any of this because they never took graphic design. So they actually have to do this and more this week. So count yourself lucky that you only have to do the portions that are here in your Google Classroom. So good for you. Let's start off, of course, with the assignment instructions like we normally do. Down here in submission 1, of course, gives us a description of how and what you guys are going to be working on this week. Talking about marketing and design, how that works for you guys, how that works for your clientele. We started off last week with our confidentiality agreements, what that looks like for a business, your business if you were to create one. You gave me a 10-step list of how you would onboard your client, how you would bring them in, what you would do, sending an email, saying hello, welcoming them into the fold. These things are going to be super important, especially going forward in your processes as a small business owner, or maybe even those of you that want to go into marketing and advertising, those of you that like to do graphic design. This is the place for you to start. Let's go ahead and start with this. This is especially for 8th period. This is for 8th period because today is Monday mainly, but 5th period, you can come and watch this video. This is an explanation on all of the things you have to do for this week. You have 2 submissions like will be normal in Braves ID. No more than 2 because I want to make sure that you guys have a light load going forward. No notes. You're welcome. But you do have to know the content, okay? And knowing the content helps you complete these assignments a little bit more in depth. So let's talk about what content you have this week. First things first, you need to know the 4 P's of marketing. Easiest way to know and understand the 4 P's of marketing is by watching the video of our friend Adam here. He's going to give you a little bit of marketing 101 and what the 4 P's look like for you as a marketeer, as a graphic designer. What do the 4 P's look like? What do they do? Why are they useful? And of course, he's going to answer some really interesting questions like what is marketing. So for some of you that don't yet know or understand what that looks like or what that is, that's probably the video you really want to watch. Now, we give you some other options and some other things for you to utilize to make sure that you know all the content here. If you'll click into the 4 P's of marketing website, you'll of course be directed to purelybrand.com. Purelybranded.com is a really great website. Talks a little bit about branding, being able to brand. They also do their own branding work for certain businesses and companies. They've also done a lot of different YouTube videos talking about how marketing works, how you should approach marketing, and things like that. So here's one of my favorite websites called the 4 P's of marketing, and you will see this everywhere. You'll be taught this probably in college if you do any type of marketing, advertising, journalism, and anything like that. Excuse the squeaking dog in the background. My apologies. But the 4 P's of marketing: price, product, promotion, and place. These are the 4 things you're going to be working with this week and knowing them like the back of your hand. Here's the definition of those below. What I want you to do is, of course, get to know these really well. The bottom of this, of course, gives you a bunch of different questions you can utilize and you can ask your clients when you receive them. This would have been really great for last week when you're doing your 10-step worksheet. But yes, definitely a good thing to have here going forward. Watch this video of Purely Branded. She gives you a little bit more in-depth detail talking about ROIs, talking about how to invest, what marketing looks like, what promotion looks like, what the marketing mix looks like, and of course, all the things you need to know for your submission 1. Let's go ahead and look at that submission 1. I'm really excited about this section because this is going to show you guys a little bit more on how to market yourselves, how to market a business, how to market a brand. And for some of you, I know we have a few people actually in the class that do some streaming on YouTube, that also do some other stuff in marketing yourself, marketing your own brand. So these are going to be some really great things for you to learn so that you can learn to do that really well going forward. In fact, it'll boost some of that marketing and advertising stuff that you're already doing. All right, so let's talk about this first submission. Submission 1. Easiest thing in the book, guys. Watch the video, get the content, read the website, come and fill out the worksheet. Super easy. Here at the top, all you're doing is answering the question. Now I notice, and now I know that there are 4 questions down here that should be really easy for you guys, because I know the first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to copy and paste that website. You are going to want to copy and paste that website into these definitions. Do not do it, folks. This is your definitions. Originality reports will be on. If you use and copy and paste those definitions, you will get a 0. That is plagiarism. Period. End of story. That is not your work. That is not your stuff. I do not appreciate you utilizing somebody else's work and passing it off as your own, nor do they. So what I'd like you to do is make sure that you use your own definition, your own words, to create a definition for what is product, what is price, what is promotion. Here, I'm going to actually do this real fast. Actually, I've already placed it up here. Good. I knew what I was doing. Do not copy and paste from the websites that you've been given or others. You will receive a 0 for plagiarism for doing so. I know that you can do works cited and all that other stuff. No works cited, no bibliographies, None of that stuff. We're not citing websites. I want you guys to come up with your own definition for these, because I want you to be able to explain this to customers, explain this to clientele when they come and ask you, well, what should I do in the range of price? And you can say, well, to be competitive, and then you can talk about ROIs or return on investments. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right. So let's talk about the bottom part here. Bottom part is super easy, guys. All you're doing is placing one of the 4 P's in these boxes. Is it a price? Is it a place? Is it a promotion? Or is it a product? So down here at the bottom, you'll notice it says iPhone, Apple Store, 30% off, internet. You have to tell me what that marketing object is. So that marketing object on the left, what strategy is it over there on the right-hand side? So iPhone, of course, would be is it a price? Is it a promotion? Is it a place? Or is it a product? And then you get to explain it. That way, I know that you know what each one of those is, all right? If you have any questions regarding this, I gave you some ways to contact me or figure out how to do this down here below. Here's submission number 2. Let's talk about it real fast. I want to get you guys out of here. Submission number 2. This is your marketing presentation. As a student, as a fully capable individual, you have the ability to present your marketing scheme. Now, this is what I'd like you to do. You have 2 different options. You can either do this in video form, or you can do it in essay form. If you do it in video form, which is option number 1 up here at the top, you are going to create a video presentation that explains to a company what the 4 P's are. Now, we are going to be using a company, a local company in Lavon called Bayside Nutrition. All right. So what I'd like you to do is, using Bayside Nutrition for your base, you're going to explain to Bayside Nutrition what the business's 4 P's should look like. As they attempt to sell teas, they sell smoothies, they do healthy drinks, supplemental drinks, foods, and things like that. Okay, really great stuff that they sell there, guys. If you haven't had a second to go, actually, shameless plug, if you haven't had a second to go check out Bayside Nutrition, you really should. They sell some great stuff. They're not doing any in-house seating or anything like that, but I think they are still doing some takeout stuff. It's not necessarily food, but they do some really great shakes and smoothies and nutritional supplements and stuff like that. You should really go check it out. It's really great. But on the other side of that, the video portion of this, you are going to explain to them how the 4 P's work, what they should look like. So you might say, one of the 4 P's that you are missing, Bayside, is promotion. One thing that you're really missing is a website. For example, wink, wink, you will notice that they do not have a website posted on Google. So you might talk to them about posting a website on Google or Google search engines. Okay. You might also talk about another thing that you're missing is, aside from promotion, is product. Not a lot of people know about your product yet. How are you getting that out there? Talk about billboards. Talk about social media promoting. Okay, so that's 2 P's right there together. Talk about price. Are their prices low enough for people in this economic region to afford? Talk about that. These are some really great ways for you guys to go about doing this in this video. It only has to be about 2 minutes. Guys, you guys know how to talk. A lot of you could do 2 minutes pretty simply, pretty easy. So go ahead and do that. Complete that. Super easy, guys. Next thing, of course, option 2 is going to be option 2 is the essay portion of this. You can do the same thing, except you have to do it in essay form. All of the essay restrictions are down there inside some option number 2. Tells you exactly how you need to do it. Then, of course, down here, all you have to do is start writing that presentation in the box. If you're getting a paper copy of this, of course, it'll look a little bit like this as well. Super easy for you guys to complete. If you have any questions, down here at the bottom, I've given you guys ways to contact me, ways to figure out how to do this. And of course, you have this video as well. Hope that this helps you guys out. Those are the 2 submissions. Finish the Google Doc and do either the video or the essay. Super easy, guys. Gave you a pretty light week. Really light week, because I know we had a heavy week last week trying to get all that stuff together. So thank you guys. Also, last week, a lot of you got in some really awesome 10-step programs. A lot of you kind of copied off what the video was doing, which is okay, I guess. But they only gave you 5 steps, not 10. So some of you only put 5 steps in there, which, of course, you got points out for that. But make sure that you guys do this well. Finish your journals. Finish your journals. Finish your journals. Make sure you're doing those for attendance. 8th period, that's every day. 5th period, that's every other day. That's Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Guys, I'll see you guys later. I hope that this has been informative, and if you have any questions, find me on Google Hangouts, find me on Google Meets during 11 to 2. You can find me
on Google Classroom in the private comments. Email me if you need to. I'm also on the YouTube live stream between 11 and 12 and 1 to 2 p.m. I'll see you guys later. Be safe. Don't do anything crazy.